All right, guys, we have a really stupid idea here. Impromptu stream. Since it's Easter, I was thinking about doing... Well, I haven't done a tier list. Actually, I have not done a tier list video / stream yet. And honestly, you guys shouldn't even care. I don't know. But I figured with it being Easter, typically in Easter, I would do like an Easter egg kind of thing for, you know, Black Ops 3 zombies. You know, I think I did Zetspo last year. I think we might have done Rise and Drag the year before. So kind of going through and doing some of that stuff, and you know, Black Ops 3 zombies, probably one of the games that kind of influenced me the most. I mean, I'm still doing zombies to this day, you know, with the zombies mapping and stuff like that that we're doing, or that I've done, that I need to pick back up. Again, shout out to Noah and all the other guys who's encouraged me to make more maps, custom zombies maps, and who've played them, who've given me good feedback, and who are excited for more stuff. So I mean, I took a little bit of a break from that, but now I kind of need to feel like I need to actually finish one of the projects for you guys out there. But like I said, maybe I'll do an Easter egg if I get through this tier list quick enough. Maybe I'll bust open the Giant, or I'll bust open Zetspo, or one of the maps, and go ahead and go through one of them. Because, you know, it's Easter. We love the Easter eggs. And like I said, that's kind of what got me back into zombies after falling out at the beginning. And then, of course, after the Easter eggs kind of died off or kind of waned down, in my opinion, I then also now kind of left and just went back to, you know, custom zombies and stuff. But so you guys use this stream almost as it's an understanding of where my mindset, where my journey of zombies is or has gone, like the beginning and end of it, kind of. And maybe my opinions on things, and of course you can leave your thoughts in the description. This is just me going by my knowledge of things, what other people have said from the maps that I haven't played, which apparently is a lot. Apparently there's a lot of maps that I haven't done. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So this is the newest one. There should be a link in the description to this exact tier list. Of course, it was the first one that popped up when I said Call of Duty Zombies tier list. And like I said, impromptu stream. So I guess right now at the beginning, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill everyone by putting in a whole bunch of stuff at the bottom that I haven't done yet, or that I have not played. So technically, I never played the original Verrucht, or the original Shinonuma, or the original Doris. I did Ascension. That's the only DLC that I had for COD at the beginning. I have not done the original Call of the Dead, original Shangri-La, the original Moon. Hey Poops. I don't even know, like, I think I did both versions. But just for the heck of it, just because I'm not gonna, just so that it's not on the list multiple times, I'm gonna move that knocked up there. Actually, no, I mean, I'm not gonna even have that much of a difference. I mean, I don't think I had, actually, you know what? I didn't have any of these. Transit, Bus Depot, Farm, Town. Didn't do Nuketown. Didn't do Die Rise. Didn't do Mob of the Dead. Didn't do Original Origins. Didn't do Outbreak. Didn't do Buried. I feel like Buried should be over here, shouldn't it? I guess what I might go back through these ones at, here shortly and do like which ones I'd want to play. Let's see here. Didn't do Infection. Didn't do Carrier. Didn't do Descent. Didn't. No, we did that. We did all Black Ops 3. Didn't do any Zombies in Spaceland, Raven the Redwoods, Shaolin Shuffle, Attack the Radioactive Thing, Beast from Beyond. We did Final Reich and Grossenhaus. I didn't do any of the DLC for Cold. What was it? Not Cold War. World War? Not World War. There's World at War, and then there was Shattered Throne, Tortured Path, Altar of Blood, Bodega. That looks like a ship, Olympus, We didn't do Frozen Dawn. You see, like, this list is already getting bigger. Let's see here. Went through all these, went through all those. Now, these are all zombies maps. I'm trying to just make sure which ones I've actually done and didn't do. Since I have not done a tier list of any of this stuff yet, I figure I might as well just go ahead and go through and do it. Impromptu. Alright, so, as you can see, I think there's more games that we haven't... There's more maps that we haven't done than we have done. If I want to organize these into things that I would want to do... You know what? No, we'll do that at the end. We'll do this stuff at the end. That way it doesn't give anything away. Because some of these are in here multiple times. So, what should we start with? Should we start with the very beginning? I guess we could start with Nocturne Totem and see where I'd want to put that in this list. I mean, very off the bat, it's very, very simple, very average when it comes to like the zombies maps, because it is the very first one. That maybe it almost gets like a bump because of that, because it's like the first one. So like you probably see a lot of people put it in the B to A tier just because of that, that reason. It's only like 3 rooms, but there's, it's small enough, and it's been it's been brought back a few times, as you guys will understand that they remade it for Black Ops, for the Black Ops pass, and then also it was the one that was available inside of BO3. So I always feel like I should put both of these near each other, because it's basically just an upscaled one. I think it has maybe a few more perks that you can get, which makes it easier. So maybe because the graphics look better, like, what would you put? Like, you'd play it more, you'd rather play it. Then also you get the gobble gums and stuff like that. So, I mean, just for nostalgia purposes and just because it does what it does. It's simple and it does it well. I don't know why you want to do that, Greg. We're not talking about bikers at all here. But go walk your dog. Enjoy it. Kino. Kino is one of those maps that people either love or hate. Again, it kind of falls to the Nocturne Totem, but I feel like it has a better cinematic Kino. It has a... Hey, relax. I think people like it better because atmospheric is what I should say. It's almost like a two semi. Was it a Venn diagram almost? The map, if you think about it from the top down view. So I'm gonna pop that off. All right. Okay, so yeah. Maybe I'll put Kino... For now, I'm just going to put Kino in the A tier. Of course, like I said, this is subject to change. This is kind of like we get things on the board, and then we think about it a little bit more. 5 was pretty cool, except for I hated the guy stealing your gun and your crap. Atmosphere-wise is pretty awesome. You get to play inside the Pentagon. You get to play as like the Kennedy. Dead Ops Arcade. I don't really remember the first Dead Ops Arcade that much. Ascension was the first like DLC, and actually Ascension was the first one that had like Easter egg stuff that I was very much into. There was like the whole Gersh device thing, so I'll end up putting Ascension up higher. It was a slightly more complicated map than Kino, but you would just get PhD, and you would just keep jumping, dolphin diving off the top where the landers were, and then you'd find your. I think it was the first map that I found. We found ways to glitch ourselves out of the map to get higher rounds and stuff. Transit. I probably have a higher view of Transit than most people because it's a big map. It has different sections. In my opinion, I would probably... I mean, maybe, like I said, this is rose-tinted goggles. Maybe this is because I haven't played Transit in a long time. I might end up putting it up higher than most people would. A lot of people would put it in, like, the F category, the D category. It had some interesting features that were added, like the... What was it, like the fridge? That you could, like, hide a weapon in and start, you know, pick it. If you get there, you can pick up that weapon the next time. The biggest downfall is, though, is if you're playing multiplayer, is if you guys aren't sticking together, trying to save people that are falling down in other areas and waiting for the bus, kind of shitty. We'll see where it shakes out, though. Right now, I'm going to put it in B. Would I rather play Transit than 5? Probably. I feel like I could have more fun in Transit. Also, that was like the first actual Easter egg that I ever completed. Somehow me and Bahose did it with 2 players. I think like if you put like the electric stand, what is it? The generator down in a certain area, you could like get the. I guess there was also 2 endings. There was also 2 Easter eggs that you could do, and I think one of them you could do with 2 players. So yeah, just because it was trying something new. Would I rather play Transit than Knocked? Probably, because there's more to do in it. I don't know. That might be a sin. People might hate me for that. I don't know. It's like I said, it could also be because I haven't played it in a while, in a long time, that I'm going to put it higher than most people. Bus Depot. Bus Depot is a smaller section, just one tiny section of Transit. So, I mean, I can't put like a small piece of it higher. Farm is really small. Town, I think everyone says everyone's town is their favorite because it's actually like it works as its own isolated section. Because it's got, you know, layers. It's got buildings that have 2 floors on them. And I think it's got both of them across an intersection. I think it has... Does it have Pack-a-Punch in the middle? I think it does. I don't think these other ones have Pack-a-Punch in them. And then, can you get on the... I don't know. I'm going to leave it like that. People can suggest things to get me to change my mind if they really want to. Now we get into the good stuff. The stuff that the stuff that's going to end up high up on the list. If my opinion, we get into the Black Ops 3 stuff. Which, look, we're already flying through this. Shadows of Evil. Regarded to some as the best, like, combination map of, location, cinematic, atmosphere, coloring. It's got the whole old school vibe to it. The only knock that I will put on Shadows of Evil, and maybe this has kind of fallen off over the time, with Shadows of Evil, is that the full Easter egg requires 4 players. There were moments where this map was glitched. Like, if you bought so many... Because I play these back on PS3 first. PS4... PS4? Yeah, PS4 first before getting it on Steam many years later. So the 4-player requirement might kind of be a knock but honestly, you can do everything except for the last step as 4 players. Oh, but what I was saying is there was a point in time on Shadows of Evil where you got to pay attention to how many things you purchased, because after you purchased so many things, it eventually caused the game to crash. So, of course, but that's Call of Duty with the weird bugs they get into their games. Hit the button, you sexy some... Yeah. The Giant. The Giant is a remake of Der Riese, upscale, major upscale, very colorful, except for like, it's mostly blue. It's German, with a giant hidden in the actual giant hidden in the background and the ciphers and everything that hidden around the map. I enjoyed it. The suffering point about it though is it becomes a map that you do the Easter egg. We'll even do the Easter egg today probably, because if I'm going through this quickly, I'll probably pop open the game and go through the Easter egg. But the Easter egg could take you like 5 minutes to 10 minutes to complete, and then basically at that point in time, you're just you sit in the walkway and you grind out points. It's very good map to like do headshots and stuff like that in, like do all your challenges, your daily challenges and stuff. So it has its purpose in Black Ops 3. It was the only time that I got to play Der Riese, which apparently was the introduction of the Pack-a-Punch. So that's why a lot of people put Der Riese so high up, because it changed how the game worked, or it added something to the game that it didn't have before. Because of Black Ops 3 and the way Black Ops 3 works, I'm going to end up putting it up higher. Obviously, you guys can see that I'm kind of skewed towards Black Ops 3 stuff. I don't even know what to do with Dead Ops Arcade 2. I don't know. I'll put it in the B tier. If I'm trying to remember if that's the one that's on Black Ops 3, I think. Maybe. I had some fun with it, but I mean, you have to be really good at the game and know what you're doing. Der Eisendrache. If there is a map that you said, okay, we're going to play a Call of Duty Zombies map and we're going to play it together, what's it going to be? It's probably going to be Der Eisen. The question always becomes, which one of these goes first, which one of these goes second? Maybe we'll come back to this here in a little bit. Maybe we'll have some sort of argument at the end to decide what the top tier is going to be. Zetsubo. Zetsubo, I enjoy more than most people do. It officially turned 9 years old yesterday. It was released April 19th, 2016. So it's now 9 years old. I played this map like every day. I beat the Easter egg in this map every day for a week, like almost a month straight. Just because of its simplicity. Like, its steps are easy to follow. Of course, people hate it because you have to manage plants and stuff like that, as opposed to zombies and stuff. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. There's some cool, like, unique Easter eggs in there, like the spider bait Easter egg. The skull of Nansapwe is pretty cool. It's a really cool overpowered kind of weapon, super weapon that you get in there. The KT Masamune is all right. I think what also kind of sells it to me is the story behind it, the story in the game, where it's like a very dark thing for Takeo, where he learns that basically, he was loyal to a fault to the Emperor, and he kind of the current version that we play as realizes it from the suffering of the version that the world that we go into. He kind of learns that from there. Gorod Krovi, some people would put this in like S+ tier. Some people would put this in the B tier. I'm probably going to end up putting it in the A tier. Very cinematic. The bomb step kind of takes it down for me, and the boss fight kind of takes it down for me. I mean, you get 2 boss fights. There's also really long cutscenes anytime you need to fly to the Pack-a-Punch area. It's probably higher than an A. It probably, maybe I'll bump it up into the S tier. I don't know, maybe I have too many tiers. It's possible that I have too many tiers for the amount of maps that we're doing. Gorod was cool because it had a really cool ending cutscene that kind of led you into Revelations. It had a really cool, it had Ace of Spades in there as the Easter egg song. So that's amazing. Like I said, you get 2 boss fights. I'm not a fan of the second boss fight. Apparently, there's ways to cheese it if you really know what you're doing. But as like my kind of play style, I had to be in a certain kind of mood to do Garad. Whereas Zetsubo, I could just pick up and play if I really wanted to, because it's simple. But I guess the negative, the reason why Zetsubo's an S and not an S plus tier is because you need a specific Gobblegum to do the Easter egg step, and you have to be like level 9 or 12 or something to have the Anywhere But Here Gobblegum. And also, maybe I should also preface this too with a lot of these maps. I'm a very big proponent of not using the overpowered gums. I want to try to do as much as I can with the base gums. So you're Anywhere But Here, you're in plain sight. What else do they typically do? What else is really good Gobblegums for? Is it Alchemical Antithesis? Stuff like that. The simple Gobblegums that you can use infinite amount of times and not have to buy and stuff like that. Although there are some cool times whenever, I mean, with Garad, you have the two escort steps kind of knock it down as well. So you have the 2 escort steps, you have the 3 lock, the 2 escort steps, the 2 lockdown steps, the bomb defusal step, the defend the what the hell you call those things? Like the satellites that fall that you have to defend, the transmitters, the Dragon Strike stuff. So there's a lot of cool things that they got it going in there, but like I said, unfortunately, if it for the average person, it's slightly more. It's more tedious, but then again, like, so it's also then more rewarding. So if I want a challenge and a more rewarding thing, I'd go with Garad, obviously. Revelations. This one's a tough one. This one mixes a bunch of the stuff that we love from these other maps. I'm not going to be able to put it as high up as the other maps, only because there's so many like small glitches with it. A lot of the weapons that were added in Revelations kind of suck, in my opinion. Like, I think they added, like, the Rift. They added, like, the car... was it the Karg? Not the Karg. What's the, is it the M1 Grand? They added, like, the MX Grand or something like that. Or maybe they added that in Zetsubo. I guess that's another thing, too. Is some of the weapons that they added in some of these DLCs, Zombies maps, kind of sucked. Like, they added the Shadow Claws, I believe, in Garad. Those kind of sucked. But, I mean, at least they give that map... They give each of the maps, though, their own kind of feeling, because you can only get those certain things in those certain maps, for the most part. I'll probably end up, like I said, I don't know, I might have to mix these up a little bit, but Revelations is cool because it has a bunch of different islands that you can go to. So, like, there's a section in there that, like, the whole middle section is Nocturne Toten that brings you inside the Apothicon, which is where the Pack-a-Punch is. One section is the Horizon Drac Underground section that's in there. One of the sections has the Zetsubo pods, but it's from, was it Verrucht? You know, it's got a whole bunch of things mixed around in there, which kind of gives it a cool feeling. It has like the whole Kino section goes into the Horizon Drac section, which then goes into the, where is it? Shangri-La section. So, you know, and they have an origin section. You know, it's got a bunch of bits and pieces mixed together, which goes into, was it the prison one, Mob of the Dead. So it's got a whole bunch of stuff. I just feel like the ending cutscene was kind of lacking. You know, you build up this whole combination to, like, some giant machine and some, like, disembodied spirit suck up, like, all the evil stuff and fly into space to somewhere. I don't know. I doubt they ever did anything else with that. And then you just kind of find out that everything's kind of like a cycle, and they hint at things. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess the hype at that point in time when Revelations came out was higher than they could have ever delivered. And unfortunately, because the hype is so high, everyone becomes disappointed with it. But I mean, I had fun whenever it did come out. They also have the bone step that everyone complains about, where they have a bone hidden, like, off the map in such a weird section. At some point in time, I will have to do a stream of doing Revelations. I will want to see if Bahose wants to join me for that. That'd be pretty cool to do. So, let me throw some of those in there. Yeah. Verrucht. So now we're getting to some of like the remasters that were put out on Black Ops 3. Verrucht, simple map. It's like you're playing in a hall, like a corridor hallway, like an insane asylum. It's a cool atmosphere. Very simple for my taste. There's no Easter egg stuff, you know, nothing too complicated about it. I enjoyed it. Would I rather play Noct? Probably. I think I think what helps with what changes this one up is it's more difficult, in my opinion. It's tighter hallways, narrower. You have to understand how you're playing it. I'm sure there's some cool things in here that aren't in Noct. Because I think with Noct, people end up just leaving the one door closed and they basically just play inside of one room. So, I mean, of course, like I said, it's just everyone's personal preference. I'm sure there's things about it that make it better. Shino Numa. I remember playing this one once or twice just to get the achievements out of it. It's a cool atmosphere. It's got the meteor that's in, like, crashed into the water. I think what ends up affecting this one, though, is there's, like, mud and, like, areas that you can't really do too well in. But I'd rather play 5. Wait a second. What would I rather do here? I'm gonna put Shino Numa there. Would I rather play Shino or Verrucht? Or Noct? I don't know. See, this is where this is probably why the impromptu version of this is probably not a good idea. Because this is probably gonna be a crappy ass list. Kino. I mean, Kino's Kino. It's probably better graphics than the other one. I don't know if they removed anything in particular. I try to remember if this Kino has some broken thing where if you use the teleporter, if all of the enemies just kind of like come up, all the crawlers and stuff just hog around the teleporter. So I can't remember if that's a broken thing or not. So I don't know if someone knows in the description if that's what happens. No, because I'd be too busy. I'd rather play an Easter egg. Oh no, okay, I understand. The remake of Ascension. Of course, I'll probably almost put it in the same category. It's a higher quality, higher graphics, and then it's got the BO3 system with it, so it just kind of makes the map a little bit better, in my opinion. Shangri-La. Shangri-La. I want to eventually do the Easter egg in Shangri-La. This is one that I have not gotten to do. I'm probably going to end up putting it... It's tricky, because I also feel like you die in cheap ways in this map, but that's probably just because I don't know it as well. It's got the baby maker on there to turn the zombies small, but I feel like that doesn't work that well. I feel like you can get killed with that still. I want to do the Easter egg with this map someday. It requires 4 players, which is also why you're not going to see me put it up any higher than A. In fact, if I wanted to stick with like the whole like accessibility portion of it, it'd probably end up getting bumped down. But it's such a cool atmosphere. And apparently it takes place in Mars or something. No, the monkeys stealing your drops or using the monkeys to change your drops into other items is pretty cool. At the same time, it's also annoying. The napalm zombies can be a chore to deal with, but whenever they blow up, and then you also have the shriekers, which make your vision, vision go blurry as all heck. So those are things to deal with in there. But like I said, I haven't played it enough to give it a good spot on this list, but I do eventually want to do the Easter egg, but like I said, it requires 4 players. Moon. Moon is very different. The Easter egg requires... There's actually it's a double-stepped Easter egg. I believe the original Easter... Does the original Easter egg require 4 players? No, I think it requires you to be Richtofen to do the one Easter egg where you swap control, you know, where you swap souls with Samantha. But it requires, in solo, to do the Easter egg solo, you have to be Richtofen. You have to get, what is it? Is it the Gersh device? No, you get the Gersh device second. Hold on, let me think here. You have to get the Gersh device. You have to get the EMP grenades. You have to get one of those twice. You have to get the wave gun and pack-a-punch it. You have to have the right excavator come as early as possible and let it depressurize an area. You can't use like explosives in certain sections because then it makes it impossible. Or not makes it impossible, it makes it significantly more difficult when there's no oxygen in certain areas. But then that also allows you to do certain things like buy the machete off the roof because you can get lower gravity. And then you have the spaceship person coming after you who can grab you. I think he steals a perk and teleport you somewhere else. It has the no man area. So I mean that's neat. Wait, where is okay, classified is on this list. So I'm gonna put Moon pretty high up on the list. But I'd rather play Moon than Revelations. Would I rather play Moon than Revelations? Maybe? How about I do this? Okay, we'll go to the next one. I'm going to leave this here like this. Origins. The Black Ops 3 version. Apparently this version is easier than the original Origins. Because, like, the mud's less punishing. Also, you got, like I said, the Black Ops 3 system with the Gobblegums. But like I said, I typically try to stick with classic Gobblegums, not the paid-for, premium ones. So, use that to what you will. Some people will knock this one down because it's too easy because of those Gobblegums. Like the Perkaholics and stuff like that. But, I mean, the downside with Origins, in my opinion, is I feel like you need a spreadsheet. I even made a spreadsheet for it. I guess maybe I should go back and also say, too, with Garad Karovi. With Garad Karovi, I feel like you need a spreadsheet to do the. You do need a spreadsheet to do the pipe stuff. Do I even have my graphic? Hold on. I made my own little graphic here. Where is this thing at? I'm gonna go to my Google Docs real quick. Actually, I don't even know if I'll be able to find it. Give me a second here. It's not going to be under the Shadow Moses folder. Untitled document, untitled document. Okay, so... This is my Origins Easter egg steps guide. That I typed up for myself, for like things to keep track of. I don't know whose Easter egg I based this off of, like whose video, like maybe like I watched a Mr. Raffle Waffles guide or something, and then basically put together my own like small worksheet that I could like print out and have together at my side. So, which steps you had to do, where the record is. I mean, I don't think I need any of this stuff up here, but I would, of course, need to go back and remember, like, which wind things to shoot, which torch means what, which ice staff spots to hit for what, for what letter. That kind of stuff. And then, of course, the musical notes to hit. What directions to put the switches, mound up, that kind of stuff. It needs a spreadsheet to play it. which I know I'm the guy who's known for spreadsheets and stuff like that. So people, people think, oh, why do you have an issue with that? But where's the? There was a graphic that I made. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can figure out Garage Kroby valve. Here we go. Hey, Akaka. So yeah, this is the Garage Kroby valve step image that I made. And I think what I ended up doing is I ended up printing this out, and I ended up like I had this like drawn like lines like I had, and what ended up happening is I would get like it would tell you where the valve was, and where the green light was. So the green light I think we refer to as like the beginning, and the valve is obviously the ending of the path. So what I would do is I would take those two steps. Like if the green light was at Dragon Command, and the valve was at the infirmary, I would find out if these two had something to, had something in common. Like if both of these, let's see, orange. So tank goes to orange, and Dragon Command goes to orange. So I want to find a way to not involve tank at the beginning of this. It's Sonic's birthday? Nah. It's actually Hitler's birthday today. I don't think him and Sonic are in the same thing. What? So yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do if it was Dragon Command to Infirmary. What did I have as the final result? Infirmary, Dragon Command. I had to go to the department store, and you see how I have tank last? If you go to T1 to do T1 to Infirmary 3, and then you say Infirmary 3 goes to, just creates a cycle all the way back so that the air flows all the way to the infirmary. So, and I would used to do that. Like I would just take what the first one was, what the last one was, and then reverse engineer from there. So yeah. Anything that needs a spreadsheet like that, that's kind of why Garage Kroby and why Origins are not going to be up in my S tier, S+ tier. Mind birthday? Yes. Speaking of which, the Final Reich. The Final Reich. Final Reich was cool because it was in a town. What a segue, yes. The Final Reich, it's a cool map. The mechanics of hold on, I gotta open up Steam real quick. I gotta get this name of the damn game right. Where are you at? World War II. Yeah, so Call of Duty World War II. I've only played 8 hours. Wow, that's sad. So that's gonna just show you. I played most of that time. Me playing that would be the Final Reich. COD Zombies Edition? Yeah, Smash Your Pass Zombies. Yeah. I remember... This map was very tedious. You had to do very specific things to charge the batteries. You had to then drag the batteries really slowly down to the bottom. And then on top of that, there is a hardcore version of the Easter egg where they didn't tell you the steps, which was pain in the ass. So now that I'm thinking about it again, it's like the positive is also a negative. You had to kill certain kinds of zombies using certain kinds of traps. You had to get a bomb zombie to blow up a wall. It was very tedious, and there were some mechanics that made the game not fun to play. So it's not gonna. I'm not gonna put it up that high. I don't know. Do I start moving some of them down? Well, see, I didn't play any of the bad ones. The Final Reich. Here, we'll do this. There. Are you happy? Okay. Groston House. Groston House is fun for 10 minutes. Groston House is fun for 10 minutes. Actually, no. Farm... I think Bus Depot had more lava in it. Groston House, I believe, is just the one house. It's like the tutorial for the zombies mode. You play it for 5 minutes. It's cool as a like survival, like you're in one building. Almost kind of, it's kind of funny. I'm putting that there, but Noctur and Toten's up here. It's you're in one room. They start sending in the boss zombies around round 15. There's a secret like Easter egg that opens up one of the walls so that you can get like the mystery box to start getting some cool weapons. But other than doing it once or twice, getting whatever achievements out of it that you need to get, I don't see another reason to play the map. Again, I didn't play any of the DLCs for that. So, Voyage of Despair. This one's a tough one to... Oh, they're all tough to rank. This one's tough... Okay, it's cool because it is the Titanic. But, like I said, I am very Easter egg or core Easter egg centric. Voyage of Despair, unfortunately, I think the final boss is too difficult, too tedious. There's the step where you have to go around, you have to memorize like the planets and the zodiac symbols and match them up and go to certain locations of the map. And then there's the whole like survive the ice step. No, we're not doing. I mean, no. I'd have to plug in the PS4 anyway to play these, and I probably wouldn't want to do them alone. So then I'd want to get the the PlayStation subscription, and then play with like my brother or something, or brothers. So Voyage of Despair. Voyage of Despair. Voyage of Despair. There are some cool things to it. Don't get me wrong. I would probably rather play it than most of these in the B tier because it actually has an Easter egg. Maybe. Maybe I'm going to adjust my list here now. Okay, 9. 9. Again, this is Black Ops 4, so we have to understand that it has all the Black Ops 4 stuff. 9 was the best. Some would say Ancient Evil was the best Black Ops 4 map. I think 9 was simpler, which makes it slightly better. Maybe not. Maybe I won't vote that way. 9 was an A map. Very simple, maybe too simple. You have to fight 2 giant elephants. As long as the game didn't crash on you. It was, though, the introduction of the Blight Father. So that's one thing that maybe you could knock against it. And then it also had, like, 3 super... It had the super zombie, which was the Blight Father. It had the 2... Like, the axe-throwing guy. And the... Was it the Brawler? I can't remember what we called them. There was the Brawler and the other one through axes. Or maybe it was... Maybe I'm splitting them. Maybe they're both the same. Then there was, like I said... It was also the elemental zombies. You had the water zombie, which buffed everything, which made them pain. The gas zombie, which blew up and left a poison gas on the ground. The fire zombie? I can't remember. The fire zombie? Was there a fire one? I don't know. Man, it's been a while since I did Black Ops 4. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to do that someday. Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead really upset people. You had the annoying vampires, the annoying werewolves. It was a very cool atmosphere. Like, it was in like a mansion. It was very cool. Underwhelming. Some of the Easter egg stuff, that's what you're going to start noticing with some of these Black Ops 4 things. Some of, like, the side Easter eggs and the main Easter eggs were so tedious that they weren't even worth doing. We know the Blood of the Dead. Oh, yes. Okay, so even though I was thinking about the wrong map, I was saying Dead of the Night. Blood of the Dead, same thing. It was a remake of the prison map, like people's favorite Mob of the Dead. And now, I never played Mob of the Dead, so Blood of the Dead was my only version of it that I got to play. So I might even rank Blood of the Dead higher than most people would. But still, like, doing some of the stuff is just ridiculous. To me, it has the most difficult and most tedious Easter egg, main core Easter egg of all of them that I've done. Atmosphere is great. It's got the Blunder Gat. It's got the Magma Gat. Which the Magma Gat's the only version that I really used. Unfortunately, it's going to end up in the C category. It's got the Tomahawk in it. It's got the Spork, which is useless in this version. Even upgrading it to the other Spork. And a very emotional ending cutscene. Or like a good ending cutscene. But you have to spend hours to get there. And go through some of the most tedious crap that there is. All right, I'm turning this back on. Classified. Okay, so you're starting to notice a trend here. You're getting remakes, like upgraded remakes. We already just went through all the remakes that they put on Black Ops 3. Now we're doing maps that are just remade for Black Ops 4. So I started to get kind of scorned, you know, sort of negative at this point. Because everything that we're getting is a remake. Classified being 5. Classified being the Pentagon. Cool idea for a map. Where the hell is 5 at anymore anyway? Okay, so Classified being 5. All right. But also having the... I think was the Pack-a-Punch moved to the location of the moon where they had like what was it? Not Eagle's Landing. No Man's Land. Where the rocket shoots off at. Was a cool touch. But at the same time, it was a remake of a map. The Easter egg step, you had to get to level 150 in order to get the cutscene, which was like 10 seconds long. So, no. Would I rather play Classified over 5? Yes. But it's not that... Here. We're doing this. These probably deserve to be lower, honestly. Okay, Dead of the Night. Again, we were talking about side Easter eggs that were not even worth doing. This is all the Call of Duty zombie maps that I've played. So we have Black Ops 3 zombie maps in here, Black Ops 4 zombies maps, which we're on. All the ones that I haven't done are in this list. I might go through and, like, reorganize these on, like, things that I would want to do. Like, if I had infinite money and owned all these games and all the DLC, which ones would I be most up for doing? You know. Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night, again, like I was just mentioning. Dead of the Night. Cool map design. Cool map area. Mansion. Easter egg steps. Tedious as all hell. Just think of mine too. I'm playing a lot of these as solo. So I don't have a person who's going to carry and hold the zombies as I go through and do like the puzzle steps. there's some cool, like I said, there's some cool ideas for steps. Execution or like replayability, not so much. There's so many different areas in Dead of the Night where you have to remember. There's like 12 different spawn locations for like certain paintings and stuff like that. There's the steak, the steak knife, not the steak knife. There's like the steak that you can unlock that like is not even useful by the time you unlock it. I'm still wondering if I want to put it above Blood of the Dead or not. The Alistair's Folly is kind of an overpowered weapon. It also has like a very cool boss fight where you fight the werewolf, but at the same time, though, I don't know. I'm still wondering why Voyage of Despair is so high up there. I almost feel like I need to start moving some of these down to C now. Maybe I started too high. Oh, we'll find out. We'll keep going. It was also cool because it had, you know, it had what's it called? It had the cast, like known actors as the cast. You know, let me pull this up. Yeah, so it had, let's see here. Does it say who played them? I don't want all this stuff. I want the actors who played them. Holy crap. Ah, dang. What the hell here? Godfrey was played by... Does it say who played him? Actor Charles Dance. We had actor Brian Blessed. We had Helena Bonham Carter. And then we had, like I said, it was the celebrity cast is the word. And then, of course, we had Kiefer Sutherland. So it was a cool cast, but that doesn't make the map. It could be, you know, it could still be a shitty map. Or just not well playable. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end up leaving that one probably in the C tier. Would I still play it? Sure. Ancient Evil. I hated the boss. I hated the boss of this map. It was a cool experience, but you can get completely screwed in the fight. Very cool atmosphere, though. It was it Greek mythology? Because I think it happens in Greece. Definitely it's going to be above Dead of the Night and Blood of the Dead. I don't think I'm going to put it as high as 9. Would I put it above Kino? Probably. Maybe Ascension? Maybe the Giant? See, I don't know. Would I really want to play this map? If I had the choice between all these maps. See, though, like I said, I love... It had some really cool Easter egg steps in it. The Wonder Weapons were pretty damn good. But I mean, most people would put this up in like the S tier or the A tier. Most people would put this above 9 and Revelations. Unfortunately, I think it was kind of too tedious. There was the one step. There was 2 steps in particular that kind of ruined this, and I think they were almost back to back. There was the step where, and of course the boss fight being kind of annoying, like super annoying, like the ending step of it, trying to do it solo. Also, like it requires your specialist weapon to beat it, to beat the, you get to use it multiple times during this. So it's almost encouraging people to use the super gobble gums and stuff like that, or the super elixirs and stuff like that, that people would pay money for, or pay money to have more of. There was a step where you had to defend, was it the Raw statue? I mean, I don't know. It's because all this stuff is based on my thoughts or what I can remember. Because it's been so long for most of these. Alpha Omega. Talk about underwhelming. Alpha Omega, again, a remake. A remake of Nuketown, but with the underground section added to it. Which I never played Nuketown, but I never played Nuketown Zombies, but I played the Nuketown map hundreds of times because it's every Call of Duty has Nuketown for multiplayer. So it was neat that you get to see the underground section. It wasn't that fun. There were some cool things in there, but it just wasn't that fun of a map to go through. And because it felt very rushed, too. Getting to see the Avogadro again come back was pretty cool, but that's like member berries. So we did Alpha Omega like 2 or 3 times as an Easter egg and then just never really touched the map again. Alpha Omega. Would I rather do Dead of the Night or Alpha Omega? See, some people might be looking at this list and thinking to themselves, how the hell is this guy doing this? But I mean, you gotta think too, or like, I don't know. Alpha Omega was cool because you got to play as both characters, like both the Primus versions and the Ultimus versions, but there was very little, like, there was little emotional impact behind it because there was nothing really tied to it. You literally go from the 10-second cutscene at the end of Classified after getting to round 150 in Classified, 10-second cutscene, to going to Alpha Omega, where things just wrap up instantly, and then you don't even play as the characters again. Dude, I don't even want to get upset about this stuff again, about how much of a major letdown the story, which I know some people like, oh, you didn't play Zombies for the story, you played it for the game mode. I don't know. There's going to be a story in it. Put a little bit, I feel like there should be some payoffs to it. It was so abrupt. The map was also kind of claustrophobic because, like you're dealing with bunkers and stuff, but yeah, I think Alpha Omega is easier than Dead of the Night. But I think they both fall under the same trap, though. Dead of the Night, you just get Alistair's Folly, and then you go to, you can go up to, like, round, 40 or something with it before you start having issues. But you already have the Easter egg beaten by then. All of these also have the same problem, too, where once you beat the Easter egg, the map ends, which is something that, like, Origins did, and something that Revelations did. So, I mean, you can take that or leave it. Yeah, all the Black Ops 4 ones ended as soon as you beat it. Which is unfortunate for some of them, but at the same time, though, what else would you do after you beat the Easter egg in some of these maps? And they weren't even, like, Black Ops 4 wasn't even really built with the ability to get, like, all the perks, because you're limited to 4, even though they eventually added gobblegums or elixirs in that allowed you to get additional perks other than your 4 base ones. So I just feel like it's a whole bunch of half-baked ideas, unfortunately, because there's so much potential, and they probably put so much work into it, too. But then they were cut off because they had to work on the next series, which we'll get to here in a second. Tag Der Toten. Hey, look, another remake of a previous map. It was a remake of Call of the Dead, which had, was it Romero in it? So there were some things in there. And this is this is like the second ending, where like Revelations was the ending of the storyline that like kept the loop going, the cycle going. Tag der Toten was like the version of Richtofen that went through and broke the did a certain version of the loop that ended up breaking the loop. It has a new area that Call of the Dead didn't have, which is like the upper area where like you have like the other three. You know, I think there's a version of Takio in like a stasis cell. There's a version of, I believe, the other two characters, Nikolai and Tank, I think, were in some sort of stasis cell, almost as if like it's the beginning of the whole storyline. Moon was a decent film. I thought it was kind of underwhelming. It was very, very atmospheric. Like, this is probably one of the most beautiful looking maps because it's like a sunrise. It's Day of the Dead, and it's in that way, it's almost like a culmination, you know, a conclusion. But at the same time, I felt like it was very, very. There were some very unfun mechanics in it. The lighthouse was kind of a death trap. Where would I put it though? I'd still rather play it than Classified. I'd rather play it than Blood of the Dead. But I'd rather play it than Alpha Omega. There was challenges around the map that unlocked stuff. Would I rather play it than Alpha Omega? I don't know. It might end up being in the C tier category. Like, I might end up leaving it there. It's hard to think. The map that ends your quote-unquote storyline ends up in the C tier. In the middle of the C tier. But hey, at least it's got an Easter egg, so maybe some of these get knocked. Like, maybe I switched C and B tier around. Because at least these have Easter eggs. I don't know. D Machine. What am I gonna say, guys? Is another remake. Kind of. But like expanded significantly. D Machine is the original map of Nacht der Toten in the center. And then you could buy your way out of it. Not buy your way out of it. It's the center of the map, and there's an underground section, which is pretty cool. It loops all the way back around. Kind of similar to like if you combine Nuketown or if you combine like parts of Alpha Omega and Nacht der Toten. Would I rather do? I mean, it's an easier game, so maybe because it's easier, it gets bumped up higher than it typically would. Also, yeah, it's significantly easier. I thought I took this one out. Okay. It's got... Was it the D Machine? What is the D Machine's wonder weapon technically called? Because it has multiple versions where it's, you know, its base version. It's got the suck and then the pulse, which is used in the actual Easter egg, and it's got the whole like underground negative world. The problem I started having with this, okay, so not only is this map kind of reused assets, but then with each one of these Call of Duty games that you're going to hear the same thing me say as well. They take away everything that they just gave you. They gave you all these new perks and all this new stuff, you know, and then they take half of them away, and they introduce like one of like the 6 things they take away. They introduce in DLC 1, and they introduce in DLC 2 the next one. They introduce in DLC 3 the next one, and it's the same cycle that you see going on nowadays. So as much as like I'd probably rather play, I mean, you got to keep those things in mind too whenever you're rating these. Or no, I'm keeping these things in mind whenever I'm rating these. Dead Ops 3 Arcade, I don't even think I touched. Firebase Z. So, this is not a remake of a zombies map. However, this is a reused, these are all reused assets from other portions, because they cut their, in my opinion, my thinking is they cut the progress they were doing behind a lot of the zombie stuff for Black Ops 3, because they were forced, Treyarch was forced to come in and start helping with Black Ops 4 stuff. So I felt like we got less stuff for Black Ops. Okay, hold on, let me say it again. I felt like they cut some stuff from Black Ops 4 because they were rushing to go into Black Ops Cold War, which is what we're doing with these. Firebase Z was a campaign map that they repurposed. All of these were campaign maps or multiplayer maps that they repurposed for zombies. So that would save them a lot of time, building the maps where they just got to kind of move things around, block certain paths and stuff like that, do lighting changes, and import, the coding for the zombies portion of it. Firebase Z is unique, where I'm going to rank it higher than only slightly higher. I'm only going to rate it slightly higher than the average person, which is not going to be that high. I'm also, so I'm going to raise it because me and my brother, who went through these maps, had a cool idea to make these more fun than they were supposed to be, is we wouldn't look up any guides. We played these blind until we beat the game, until we beat the Easter egg, trying to use the map clue, in-game map clues, and what kind of they were forcing us to do, running around talking to everything. It greatly increased the lifespan of these maps, but I still have to, like I said, I still have to knock it down because of the unoriginality of it. So it gets knocked up because of the way that what we decided. It gets knocked up because of the system of Cold War zombies, but then it gets knocked down because of basically you're getting recycled garbage. So Firebase Z, in my opinion, Firebase Z Firebase Z will go into the C category. I moved 5 down to D. Cold War Outbreak. Okay. Whoo, boy. This one... F. These are the most useless stuff, in my opinion, was the Cold War Outbreak. It was literally the multiplayer. What was I don't even remember the game mode. It was reused. What would they call that? Fire? Oh, what was it? Cold War game modes. Was the fire team mode? 10 teams of 4 players dropped into a match. So they reused the fire team maps, and they just put like weird mini games in there just to waste your time to go through them. It was the giant open world, so you didn't really feel claustrophobic at all. You could mount over things, you could jump on top of buildings, you could ride vehicles. So it added some cool things in that aspect, but it wasn't really zombies. They even did like multiple DLCs, like big updates that would come out. They'd put they put some of the stuff into Cold War. In my opinion, it wasn't zombies. It was very, very weak. They put like a really difficult boss in there to do, and then basically they had like 2 other like extraction type endings too with Outbreak. So was it a cool idea? Maybe as like a game mode, maybe to have, but like putting so much content in there, and it wasn't fun. Like I'd rather do most of the stuff again than to waste my time with Cold War. With Outbreak, specifically. Again, reused assets. I've said this for like the last 8 to 9 maps already. Reused assets, which is fine. That's how Zombies was born to begin with. But, I mean, everything that we're wanting is then just... We're waiting to get the same stuff shoveled into our mouths. Speaking again, Malder Toten. This was boosted because it had some interesting character stuff in there. It had, I guess, like the Ted ripoff of the, was it Klaus? Klaus, not, maybe it was Klaus? No, but I thought Klaus was World War II. Whatever. He's in both. Malder Toten brought in the Acolytes. It was the Berlin map turned into a Zombies map. The Cerberus was a really cool weapon. The map did a pretty good job of having things on the map that told you what needed to be done. Hey, Geekstorium. But it still wasn't really that fun. But it's better than Firebase Z, though. And it's better than Blood of the Dead. It sucks, too, because Blood of the Dead has a really cool atmosphere. But the Easter egg is just a pain. It's not even worth trying. I'm trying to remember if there's anything I really dislike about Malder Toten. I'll leave that. And then Forsaken. Again, another campaign mission taken and repurposed. The ending boss fight was kind of a joke. The Wonder Weapon was pretty cool. It was like the crystal weapon. Or the crystal blade. That I think also turned into machine gun, maybe? The sword. But again, it was a weak ending. Filled with memorberries because of Maxis. Where do I want to put Forsaken, though? Was it the Abominations? Were they called Abominations in this game? I'm trying to think if there's anything... I'm trying to think of what my favorite thing about Forsaken is. I can't even think of anything. There's a pretty cool RC car step. Which would have been like the only thing that you would have had to look online for. Okay. So yeah, I don't know where I want to put this. There's teleporters around the map. You can sit around the first location. There's actually, in the spawn room, there was a location that you could basically become unkillable in. So I think that also kind of takes away from it. Yeah, I mean, relatively weak of a map. I don't know. That might be where I end this list up here. I don't know. Like I said, this is like personal preference. Most people will put Origins up here in the top 3. I'm probably not going to do that. Only because of the difficulty of it. Like, this is stuff that, like, if I just wanted to, like, pick up the controller and play, like, what order would be, like, at the top of my list. Now, if that's, okay, so pick up and play, maybe I'll do that. I feel like Horizon is easier to just pick up and go. Shadows of Evil gets a little bit difficult. Slightly more. It's easier to get more difficult. But then again, Horizon does have the Panzers in it. And, okay, so maybe that's another too. It doesn't require 4 players to do the full Easter egg, which is why Horizon will come out on top, in my opinion. Most people put Origins or Shadows of Evil as number 1 and number 2, and then Horizon will be number 3 or Garad. But, I mean, this is my opinion. Of course, it is subject to change. If I would sit down and go through all this over and over again, it would probably be different, especially when we get down to this middle tier. Because you could almost mix up B and C, and I wouldn't have any complaints. You can even throw like everything from Ascension down to Firebase Z. You could almost mix up, and it would make no difference to me. Like I said, Transit, because it's been so long. Same thing. If I went back and played Transit, I'd probably want to play 2-player to 4-player. Same thing with Voyage of the Despair. Like, I would only want to do these ones multiplayer. Dead Ops Arcade, unfortunately, just get thrown in there. Okay, so now if we're going to go... I'm going to try to do this relatively quickly. Because I only have maybe like a half an hour of time left. If I wanted to go through ones that I haven't played, what I'd be interested in playing, like in a list... Obviously, the original Origins, although I would get destroyed, wouldn't even make it to round 12. Because it's a lot more difficult. Mob of the Dead, because that's like people's favorite one. So I'd want to give the original a try. People really love Buried. So I'd put that on like things like I want to try. Maybe Call of the Dead, because of how I think this one has like it's like a potential one to have an Easter egg. There's something about like the lighthouse where you get a guy to go up the lighthouse and it activates something. So I think that'd be a cool one to try. Although, like I said, a lot of these would be these would be more difficult than because they're older systems. They're not easy mode like Black Ops 3 is. I would love to do Moon, but I think Moon requires that you beat all the previous Easter eggs to do it. Nocturne Totem, Zombies in Spaceland. People were high on Raven the Redwoods, so maybe I'll put that one up higher. On like things that I would want to try. Or maybe that was Spaceland. A lot of these World War II ones I'm not that interested in. Of course, if it was like for like $5 or like for free, you could play all these, maybe I would give them a try. I think the Attack of the Radioactive thing requires math and like science and stuff to beat, which again, I don't want to go through spreadsheets and stuff unless I'm really into something. So I don't know, maybe Zombies in Spaceland? Maybe Die Rise? A lot of these are going to be tough. And then you got you got everyone's favorite. What was this, Vanguard? All the Vanguard maps. Apparently Duran Fong was like one of the worst maps, zombies experiences of all time. So, like, this entire thing here is probably people didn't enjoy. If I had to pick one from it to play, maybe I would do the Archon? No. Only because of its name? Frozen Dawn. Why does Frozen Dawn sound familiar? Altar of Blood, Tortured Path, Shadowed Throne. I think people... Was it the Shadowed Throne that people really liked? There was one of them that had like a blimp or something that people really liked. I can't remember. I think it was The Shadowed Throne. I think the Tortured Path people hated. I could be wrong, though. So I'm just putting things up in here that I think that people... that I would want to try. And then... I don't know, has anyone in chat played any of the modern zombies? Like, Black Ops 6 stuff? Because maybe I'll just put the entire Black Ops 6 category now. Maybe try Moon. And Derice. And maybe Shang. I don't think I'd want to try Nuketown. I don't know. Maybe Terminus. So people didn't like Liberty Falls. People didn't like the Tomb. Shattered Veil. The Tomb is the Tomb the one that the boss fight was the Sentinel artifact? I don't know, I think that's where we're gonna wrap this one up. This tier list. Like I said, very much subject to my own personal remembrance of a lot of these maps. Again, anything from Ascension down to Firebase Z could almost be mixed up in any certain order, in my opinion. I mean, if that's the case... Hey, I mean, if that's the case, then I should almost, like, move some of this stuff down. But I'll leave it. I'll leave it like this. All right. Of course, like I said, feel free to comment your opinions below. Doesn't have. I mean, mine's not right. It's just how I feel. And just because we're bored, might as well as do a quick Easter egg. I got 30 minutes to kill, so. Do I have Black Ops 3 just on here? I do. I'm surprised that took almost an hour and a half. I'm going to turn off the music here. As if you could even hear it. "30 minutes. Is 30 minutes even enough time to beat an Easter egg? I mean, I know which one it's definitely enough time to beat. You're missing out on the new overlay. See, I feel like that's too cheap. I feel like the Rise of Drax going to take me an hour to get through. Same thing with Zetsubo. Giant take me 15 minutes. I don't know if that would be entertaining or not. Revelation was probably Crash before I remember the steps. Screw it. We'll do Shadows of Evil. We're not gonna be able to beat it, but at least we'll give it a try. Seems very stuttery. Yeah, this doesn't even seem... Is there stuff running on my computer that's slowing me down? Maybe? Close that Discord. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's running well.
You got a sickness or something?
Yeah, this is running piss poor. Why? There's like certain ways that people would use to like do stuff to speed things up.
I recommend you stay down.
Okay. Oh, I guess I was supposed to buy this. Oh, I'm already screwing up. I can't remember how people did this. Man, I don't even know the buttons. Okay, so we're not gonna do this one. We'll do... We'll do Horizon, because that one's my favorite one. And then we'll wrap up there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat the Easter egg in 30 minutes. That's like world record speed shit. What is my zombie level anyway? My level 1? Oh yeah, I must have... Alright. I must have, like, prestiged. Alright. Let's just, like I said, go through this. What button do I have as grenade?
We may have escaped the giant, but once again we find ourselves face to face with another twisted incarnation of the German war machine. Will we never be free of this nightmare?
I don't know why. Stuttery mess. My screen here. Where is this thing at?
Taste the Russian steel.
stutter. Like I said, I don't know why.
The dragon breathes, eager to be fed.
Yeah, let me not worry so much about rounds then.
Mission to recover the Dempsey test subject is now in jeopardy. The capsule containing his body now ascends high above the Earth itself. I toil for the benefit of us all. This is who I am. Free ammo. A very anti-capitalist.
Trying to think of how much money I actually need. Where the hell is this thing at? My eyes are not...
I know you are not infectious. Or perhaps I am immune.
They're like freaking stuttering like hell, man. Horror stream with the raid. How you doing, horror stream?
Happy birthday, Sonic! Thanks!
Let's see here. 3,000 points would be what? Stabbing him to death?
It's impossible that Richtofen lured us here only for his evil allies to entrap us. This was child's room. I feel it is wrought with pain and sorrow.
It's like literally a stuttering mess now that I'm trying to do with this.
Behold, the miracle of electricity.
Shield piece.
Keep your rotten bony hands away from my body!
Why do I feel like I'm missing stuff? Because I am, probably.
Death will always find you.
Thank you for the raid. Horror? Dude, this... I don't even know why this is so bad. Did it look like it's stuttering on your end, too? It's because I'm playing online?
Nikolai does not appreciate your touch.
Why the hell do you not eat any one of those? All right, we'll start doing the stuff down here.
A tomb for kings. They would be disgusted if they knew what Group 935 did to it.
We have an update. Over. Dr. Grove, have you made any progress? Yes, Doctor. The machine is ready. Awaiting the conduits. Very good. I will proceed with Operation Shield. Join you shortly. Security protocol 935.
Gonna build the shield up here because it's easier access. Is chat still popping up? See, I saw the horror rated, but I don't.
For literally minutes I have toiled. Now I can reap reward.
Richtofen, the security feeds are somewhat alarming. What on earth is going on down there?
Let me throw some stuff in chat real quick just to make sure it's popping up. There we go.
It seems the area is no longer secure.
Still don't know why.
He seems unaware of current situation.
Not a single double point yet, which is kind of interesting. What's gonna be next? The nuke?
Slaughter is my middle name.
Oh boy.
Now you sleep forever.
Hopefully this will be enough to get the bow. Hey, or. My game is a stuttering mess today. Yeah, this is BO3. Purple Boy. I just went through a very crappy version of making my own tier list. And then we're just gonna wrap the stream up by maybe trying to get this completed. I don't know. It's stuttering too much for me to even play it. Almost.
Dragon has gone, faded from existence like memory.
Ah, Horde, it's alright. Like I said, I'm only gonna be live for like another like half an hour maybe. Wait, where am I going? The bow's the other way. I should probably buy stamina up.
Sometimes the simplest weapon is most effective.
Richtofen, I'm observing your current actions. I must confess to being alarmed. Would you care to explain exactly what you are doing in the company of our enemies? Richtofen? Richtofen!
I forget. Do I have to... Okay, I have to light the torches. Which I think I need to go... Because I don't know... These people got some cool... I mean, I've played since the original Call of Duty. But not... Well, I've played Call of Duty since the original Call of Duty. So was it... Was it World at War? Or which one had the first one? I have no clue where that one's at. This guy should buy stamina up. I'll buy stamina up on the way back up. I will have to hit the box and maybe get a better weapon. Get the plant here. Minecraft Fortnite.
What happens when we recover other Dempsey? Maybe Richtofen will tell us of his plan for future. I have seen icy winds freeze men's eyes wide open.
I'll leave the pack-a-punch there. I should probably... Right now, it's...
I think I enjoy
Fill up the souls, is it not? Yeah, right now I think it's fill up souls. Probably should spin the mystery box. Probably end the round. Like I said, I don't have much time. A combination of all three. What am I missing? What am I missing with the electric bow? Did I pick it up? I picked it up. Oh no, I gotta walk around in the anti-grav area. Which is gonna be what, like another like 3 minutes? There we go. Played Fortnite for a while. I mean, I couldn't get into Fortnite. It wasn't my style of game. Okay, hopefully we get something good out of the mystery box. Like a date, I don't know. None of it's gonna have attachments though.
like animals in Avalon.
Horrible.
Their slaughter is
Horrible, horrible, horrible. That's even worse. Alright. I'll buy stamina up, even though I probably need fast reloading with this weapon.
I thought that tasted better before.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, Fortnite wasn't really... I mean, congrats that you got that, but like I said, Fortnite wasn't really my style of game. I played it for a tiny bit with my younger brother. My first gaming console. Would have been. I don't know if you could see those back there. First gaming console would have been like the original NES, except for the cat chewed the wires. And then, so my like memories would be of playing the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. So those would have been my first consoles that I would have had a functioning brain while playing.
I am like Russian Cupid, Cupid of death.
.360, ah. You had the Sears Pong game? I remember my Sears. My Sears was the place that we'd go to that had like the arcade, like had like a single arcade cabinet, like Mortal Kombat or something in it. No, he's not roasting you. He's saying that I'm young. Damn it.
Is it safe to have wood so close to explosives? It was my mistake for allowing you to get close.
Well, why am I stuck in... Yeah, which implies, yeah, you are. You are very old, Greg.
If walls could speak, they'd probably tell Nikolai to stop nailing boards to them.
Yeah, I put a ton of hours into Minecraft. Yeah. I would say thanks, Greg, but... But you ruined us. Damn. Come on.
I never thought of myself as archer, but arrows always find their target.
Why am I undershooting him?
Look but don't touch. That is rule.
I'm gonna be out of ammo, which is gonna suck.
My wives dare touch me there.
Huh? Thank goodness. Okay, I guess we'll go get ourselves destroyed. Yeah, we're not gonna survive this one. Hopefully we get a max ammo.
Never underestimate an angry Russian.
I can't even see right now. Okay, we died. Alright. 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 Dude, that's such a shame. Getting the damn Gorgon. What about that? What about the logo? I don't know. Yeah, it's you know what? To be fair though, it's 3:30, so it's anyway. It's time for me. I got hang out with family for Easter, so yeah. If you guys missed out, I think I closed out of it, so it's probably going to be gone by now. Oh no, it's still up here. So yeah, hypothetically, if you guys wanted to see my tier list, it's in the video somewhere. But this is kind of where we wrapped up with my opinions on ranking the zombies maps that I've played, and then like ones that I'd be interested in playing. I don't even know what Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is even like. Like I said, a lot of this stuff too could be mixed up as well. Because like I said, there were things I haven't played. There were things that I'd be interested in playing. So yeah, opinions. You guys are more than welcome to leave your opinions below, your thoughts. I have to head out now. Let's go find someone to raid if you guys are cool with that. And thank you all guys. Like I said, this was an impromptu stream. I wasn't even planning on doing it. Again, thank you, Horror Stream, for coming in with the raid. We'll send you guys over to Phoenix Electra. You guys go say Happy Easter to her. I feel bad though that I'm rating her on like a lower stream here, but just go say hi to her. She does sewing stuff, you know, she's sewing things right now. So, Horror Stream, if you're still over there, feel free. Like I said, guys, go say hi to her. Until I see you guys maybe tomorrow, I'm doing a Rumble Premium stream. So, that's what's coming up. Got a Lastomania tomorrow. So, where is that at here? Like I said, that'll be for the Rumble Premium, guys. I'll be playing Lastomania because it's one of those games that I played growing up that like kind of defined me when it comes to like your Minecraft. This is kind of one of the first like build your own course kind of things that I got into. It's a very, very simple game. Very simple stuff. Like I said, this used to be on like flashcards. What the hell? Floppy disks. This game used to be able to fit on a few floppy disks, and people would go around and hand it to each other. Basically, you go through, you hit space to flip your character, and basically you got to try to do all this physics-defying stuff to get all the apples. So I'll be doing a few hours of that tomorrow. Probably like 5 hours of Rumble Premium stuff tomorrow. But yes, hopefully you enjoyed hanging out today. We had a lot of awesome streams last week. We're going to start off this week some pretty cool stuff. Hopefully we finish Castlevania this week, Castlevania 3. We got Randomizer, some Yacht Dice today, or this month on Thursday, or this week on Thursday, with me and a handful of the crew. So I'm going to send you guys over to Phoenix Electra. Y'all stay awesome. Go say hi to her. Happy Easter, everyone. Go out there, find some eggs. Maybe do some of these Easter eggs that we were trying to do that we talked about today, and let me know your opinions on how this shook out, or you know, if your zombies experience or thoughts are similar to mine with the way things are, current state. or maybe your journey through it all. But y'all stay awesome. I'm gonna go hang out with my brother, who I used to play, who got me into the zombies to begin with, and who we used to play with zombies a whole bunch. So y'all stay awesome. Peace out. Go say hi to Electra. Invalid URL. All right, this should work. Phoenix Electra. Go say hi to her. Peace out, peeps.
Everything else we got going on. First, let's have a sip of coffee. Coffee time.